Hi everybody, Rachel here from Rachthestamper.com, and this is my second chance making this video. I actually filmed this the other day and my phone ran out of memory because sometimes I don't like to erase stuff. I'm not sure why, but I don't know. Does anybody else do that? They never erase their videos or their pictures from however many phones they've had. Maybe it's just me. But anyway, today I wanted to share how to make this really pretty card. I got a lot of requests for this because you might have seen it over here in my video for a really, really long time in the video screen. And I just kept forgetting to make it. Now, I had another version that was created with Starry Sky, but I believe I gave it to someone. So this is actually Orchid Oasis as a base, and then Sweet Sorbet is the accent color. So today we're going to create a Starry Sky version. Now, as I said, I filmed this video before, and I want to show you a couple things about it that I did film that I goofed up and I shared, but I didn't want to give you a choppy video, so I'm going to do my best to remember what I shared with you so I can show you again. So this is the Forever Fern stamp set, and then I think it's the Forever Flourishing dies that go along with it. You can find this in the annual catalog. When I created this card, it's really simple. You could use this with a wide variety of stamp sets. You just need something background, a little bit of touches of something, and then just add kind of a strip in between. So I actually already stamped one, so I'm going to make a second one, and then I'll have another one to put together later. But these little pieces I also accented with vellum. So I thought to do something different, which I did already die cut these. You could use two different elements instead. You could either use the vellum specialty paper, which is in the annual catalog. And this is nice because it comes with white over vellum layers of paper and black over vellum. So it's all the same stuff, it's just a white and a black version. So I will show you that. Another thing I thought would be really pretty is maybe using the Mother of Pearl specialty paper. This is also in the annual catalog. So I have a lot of this done ahead of time. I will tell you one thing is I did switch up the sentiment for this. So you can do this as in Forever Fern, but I ended up switching to a sentiment from Contour and Color here for you now. There's lots of different things that you could do. You could even just do Better Days Ahead and get rid of the and in. So lots of different things you can switch up for this. So as I said, I do have significant portions of this done, but I'm going to show you what I did anyway. So we are going to use a base of Starry Sky. This is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I will show you, I did a couple of these things ahead of time. So this one I'll show you how to layer down. I am going to re-stamp these cards. Nice part is I kind of made some boo-boos, so you could even do a little doctoring and put something down here to cover it up. Many ways that you can adjust this card if you need to. So I have another base out. I have just some strips of stuff. I cut out the piece of vellum. Actually, I put a sticker sheet on the back of it. This is using that specialty vellum. So I'm going to show you that. But I have a lot of stuff pre-cut because I made this card, as I said once before, and I never really ended up using all the pieces. So here's my strip. I have another layering strip. I have lots of little pieces to put together, but probably one of the most interesting things I wanted to tell you all as I was filming this video was you want to make sure that your stamp is not over inked. Okay, so what I did was I stamped with a new, and the new ink pads can tend to be like this. I stamped with an ink pad. This one looks really nice. This one was me moving the ink a little bit to the side, and then I re-inked it. And what it does, if you're able to notice here, is it gives you a lot of loss of detail in those areas there. Okay, so you'll notice when you're looking at this, so looking at this side by side, this has a lot more detail because it's not over inked. So a good way to do that, I'm going to show it to you today again. A good way to do that is to move the ink around with a spoon. So I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. And I'm going to do it with my Orchid Oasis because I hadn't manipulated the ink on the pad. But when you get a new ink pad, and I'll show you all these pieces once we get into this. When you get a new ink pad, sometimes it'll be super saturated with ink in one area. So let me just grab, I'll use that same stamp because it makes it a little bit easier to use, or easier to see. So when you use a new ink pad, we're going to just ink this up and stamp it. And you can see right here, this is a perfect example. So this was just what I wanted to show you. It's very splotchy, and it's because there is just too much ink in certain areas. So the easiest way to do without wasting ink, they used to tell you in the past to absorb some of it with a paper towel, but basically what I tell you to do is just to shift it over with your spoon, just like so. And that way your ink is still in your pad. You're not wasting any of it. So I'm going to go ahead really quickly and just spritz this. Just going to clean this off so you can see what it looks like with a fresh coat. Okay. All right. So again, we move the ink to one side, and I'm going to try to put it so it's in the same vicinity. And even though this is significantly lighter, it's not blotchy. So you have a lot of detail. These distinctive stamps really give you a lot of detail. The way the stamps are designed, it's really actually very cool. It gives it a very photorealistic look. But if you have blotches in this when you're making your images, just take your spoon and slide some of your ink over. Now, I will use the same spoon over and over again, so you can certainly do that. But it really will give you a nice image. If you re-ink your stamp, so if you were to use re-inker and refill this, just make sure you press it in so you get a really even distribution of your ink. So just a couple tips there. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this and I'm just going to smooth it back out. And it kind of just helps to just keep the ink. And the nice part is you're not absorbing any of the ink. You're just redistributing it so it's still in your ink pad and you're not wasting any of your ink or your money. So let me close this up. And I'm going to just show you pretty simply how to put this card together. Okay, it's a very simple card. So you have your base. And then what we did is I stamped this in just different ink patterns on here in the Starry Sky ink. This is 4 by 5 1/4. So all we're going to do is put this straight on. And I think the color contrast between the Sweet Sorbet and the Starry Sky or the Orchid Oasis is a really pretty color combination. Okay, and then you're going to have a little strip. I believe this is 3/4 of an inch. Maybe a little bit more, approximately 3/4 of an inch. And then this one is an inch. Yep. So what this is going to do is you can either make this so it goes just the layer of this, so it'll be 5 1/4, or you could do the whole front. But I kind of think the layer looks nice. And I achieved this by just restamping. This is full ink and then stamped off. So I'm just going to take this, add a little bit of adhesive to it, and slide this right here, just like so. Okay, then I'm gonna pop this down. Oh, don't want to do that yet. See, got ahead of myself. Forgot one very important step, the die cuts. So I did lots of different die cuts, and I did put adhesive sheet on the back of them because I figured it would kind of be helpful to not have to try to put little tiny bits of glue all over these leaves. So what I'm going to do is just kind of pull this off and piece it together how I think it is going to look nice. See if I can get this last. So since no one's here, I can actually say this out loud. We're going on a Disney cruise. And my son does not know. So I got my nails done, and man, now I understand why people have such a hard time picking stuff up when you have on, these are dip nails. Holy moly. I have not been able to pick up a thing since I got them put on. And it's kind of funny because I would always watch people with videos and I'm like, come on. I mean, how hard is it to pick something up? It's hard. So for all those people that I silently judged, I will say definitely nails are, I hesitate to say for grown-ups because I often kind of think of myself sometimes still as a kid. I don't always feel that way in the morning, but I think of myself as very much of a kid. But boy, you have to really have some skill in planning out if you want to have nails and make cards. And we're just I'm gonna layer that on here. And it looks really pretty with the vellum because it has that little white writing detail to it. So then I'm going to just put a couple of these down. Now these, since they are bigger pieces, I didn't put adhesive sheet on them. So we'll just kind of stick these couple. And this will just give you a little bit of visual interest. You could put some of them on with dimensionals if you wanted to. Really just kind of depends on what you want to do. And remember, this whole thing, I'm going to actually pop this part up with dimensionals. So it will cover this up. So you can kind of separate it wherever you want it to go. Got a little, I believe this is eucalyptus leaf. I could be wrong. We had this in my house growing up, so honestly, I have no idea what it was. It may not have even been eucalyptus. Who knows? All right, so that still looks pretty good. I think I'm going to put one more, just a little piece. Now, you can always even trim off all these little branches if you want to. It really just depends on what you want to do with it. And then this, I want to put dimensionals on. So I have been struggling with these nails since I hadn't put on. They're beautiful. I mean, Lord knows, you know, I don't know if you do or don't know, but I'm in preschool now and I have been doing all kinds of stuff and nothing stains them. So that's a great bonus if you ask me. And we'll just put one more down here. And I'm just going to pop because that probably would take me forever. So thankfully, this take your pick tool pulls off all the backing, because I bet that'll be another thing that would be, I think I have one more on here. I've been picking a lot more stuff up with the pads of my fingers than I ever had before. Just going to layer this on. Okay. Now, one other thing I wanted to tell you is I goofed when I did this because I was, again, my video cut off and I went into a little bit of a frenzy. So I apologize for this pre-stamping, but I only have so much time before we leave before I can get this video finished. But when I stamped this, I did some sort of smudging. So they sell this on Amazon. I'm sure you can get it in an office store or a craft store as well. But this is a double-sided eraser. So regular eraser, and then this is a sand eraser. And a lot of times what you can do is you can just take your eraser and you just very gently, and you want to go in a circular motion, you can erase, but you have to be careful with it because it actually does take a layer of the cardstock off. So if you get something that you're doing ahead of time, or doing, I should say, right as you finish it, you can usually erase. This one may not because it is several days old, because I did try to film this last week, but that's when it all went down the tubes. There you go. And if not, worst case scenario, the other thing you can always do is add a little bit of an embellishment to it. And thirdly, it's a homemade card. So people do want to see a really pretty card regardless, right? So I'm going to, just before we finish, I'm going to put it inside on this card. So at least I'll show you a little bit of something, how we can do some two-step stamping. I'm just going to trim this piece down so it's 4 by 5 1/4. I have a couple other things that I want to try to get done, but I don't know. We're just going to have to see if time allows before the trip commences. However, I am really looking forward to it. We have not been on vacation, like I say, a real vacation, which is terrible because some people don't get to go on any vacation, let alone people who are still trying to put the pieces back together after a major hurricane. But I am really looking forward to it. So I'm hoping we have great weather and a really nice time. So again, I have my little stamp. So I'm just going to kind of pick a side where I think I want to put this. And I'm just going to stamp it a couple times. So you can see what I mean with a little Stampin' Off. So you can see between this two, first and second generation ink. We'll add in just a little something on the side. That looks nice. I don't want too much. And I think just to break it up a little bit, I'll put this little, what I keep claiming is a eucalyptus leaf. I could be wrong. We're going to do that in Sweet Sorbet. That looks good. Okay. Just put this one straight, like it's coming out from the bottom. I'm going to do one more over here. And I'm going to do one more up here on the top. Okay, so just like that. And then you can add whatever sentiment. Now, I tend to kind of leave my stamps or my cards unfinished on the inside because I find sometimes when I add a sentiment to it, I'll open up a card and want to use it for something. And then I'm like, here for you now. And then whatever the case may be, I'm like, why did I put that on the inside? Because I could have used it for whatever it was. However, I pigeonholed myself because I added the inside sentiment. So I am going to leave the sentiment blank just for now. I can always make another one, and should be a nice sympathy, thinking of you, get well soon, birthday, so many different things. But really pretty card combination. And you can definitely tell the difference too between using the Orchid Oasis and the Starry Sky. I like both of them. Do you have a favorite of which one you prefer is nicer than the other one? Just let me know in the comments. I want to thank you guys so very much for watching. I am going to try, like I said, to get a couple other videos filmed. I'm hoping I can get them posted prior to, let me just straighten out a little bit so you can see, prior to leaving. But if not, I will be getting some stuff filmed as soon as possible once we're back and all situated again. Thank you so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love for you to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. You can click the subscribe button and then hit the bell, and it'll turn on notifications every time I do create a new video. I have been trying to get back into a regular posting habit, but just with, you know, a 9-year-old, it does make things a little bit difficult sometimes. But I do appreciate you all taking time to watch. Leave a comment here, and if you have someone you think would like this video, share that with them. And make sure to tell them to subscribe as well. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get any of the products that I use today, you can shop in my online store 24/7, rachthestamper.stampinup.net. One other thing to mention, we have a really amazing joining special right now. You do earn a discount on any products that you purchase once you sign up as a demonstrator. There's no obligation to sell anything, to have classes, to do anything like that whatsoever. So if you would like to do that, you can go to my blog, which is rachthestamper.com, get some more information. Right now we have a special where you can choose $155 worth of anything. So you can create your own kit for just $99. It ships free. And they also send you a paper pumpkin kit, which is super fun. So if you'd like more information about that, feel free to shoot me an email, rachthestamper@gmail.com. Again, it's something that a lot of people do, and they kind of fill up their craft stash. There's no obligation to have parties or anything. It's really super, super easy and hopefully a lot of fun for you. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again real soon.